What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, world-renowned trainer, legendary trainer, Teddy Atlas. Obviously, he has a podcast, and Teddy Atlas, colorful analyst, spokesman for the sport of boxing. He weighs in on the highly anticipated exhibition bout with legendary former 5-division world champion, former pound-for-pound king, former pay-per-view king, retired 50-0, the man known as Money, Floyd Money Mayweather, his exhibition with YouTube sensation Logan Paul. With that said, Teddy Atlas, he says that he gives Logan Paul tons and tons of credit because Logan Paul and his brother Jake Paul both started, well, we got introduced to them through YouTube, and he stated that he believes that they are taking the sport of boxing absolutely serious. They're not making a mockery of the sport. They're taking it serious. It's just that they're not homegrown in the sport of boxing. And he believes that Floyd Mayweather at 44 years of age is in trouble because Floyd Mayweather giving up such a size disadvantage to Logan Paul. And he says there's going to come a time when Floyd Mayweather, well, in the ring, he's not Floyd Mayweather anymore. So he says he believes that Floyd Mayweather is in trouble in this fight with Logan Paul. He bit off more than he can chew. At 5'8", 147 pounds, with a 72-inch arm reach, he's at a true size disadvantage. And Logan Paul's going to have at least 20 to 30 pound weight advantage over Floyd Mayweather. So he says Logan Paul is going to come in at 6'2". He weighs 180 pounds. He's going to have a distinct size advantage over Floyd Mayweather. Well, he believes that, that is going to be the difference in this fight. And he says that, this could be the time where Floyd Mayweather, well, he's no longer Floyd Mayweather. He can't reach into that bag of tricks and pull it out. Now, we know the rules for this exhibition. There's no judges. There's no true winner. Knockouts, knockdowns are allowed. Referee is the only one that can stop the fight. No corners, no doctors. Only the referee can stop the fight. They're going to use 12-ounce gloves, no headgear, 8 3-minute rounds. So, obviously, this favors Logan Paul, obviously, because here we have a situation where Floyd Mayweather, smaller guy, is going to have on 12-ounce gloves. Floyd Mayweather's used to wearing nothing bigger than the biggest gloves he's ever put on were 10-ounce gloves when he faced Oscar De La Hoya at 154. That's the rule. Over 147, the ounce gloves, the bigger the opponents, the bigger the fighters, they like the fighters to wear bigger gloves. So he had to wear 10-ounce gloves when he fought Oscar De La Hoya, in which turned out to be the biggest fight in the history of sport of boxing at that time back in 2007. And so that's the only time. And Floyd Mayweather, he complained about that. He said, Oscar De La Hoya, well, he had me wearing pillows in this fight. So Floyd Mayweather is not the biggest guy. So imagine how big these gloves are going to be on Floyd Mayweather. Obviously, Logan Paul being a bigger guy, the gloves are not going to feel so big on him. Actually, they may feel small because he's such a big guy. So he's going to come in at 180. So he stands at 6'2". Obviously, he's a much bigger guy than Floyd Mayweather. Well, this is something Floyd Mayweather is homegrown in. He's been bred into this. This is what he's done. A guy of Teddy Atlas status, the knowledge of Teddy Atlas, he knows very well that if Floyd Mayweather decided to turn it on, doesn't matter if he was in shape, doesn't matter if he was focused, his skill level is still light years ahead of Logan Paul, regardless if Logan Paul is taking the sport serious, taking the discipline serious, and focusing. So Teddy Atlas is being optimistic that Logan Paul could actually beat Floyd Mayweather. And he says that if he lands a punch, being that big, he can seriously put Floyd Mayweather in some trouble. Well, you have to understand, Floyd Mayweather's been in the ring with guys that had 20 pounds weight advantage over him. He's always the smaller guy. And when he faced off against Canelo Alvarez, he came in at nearly 170 for that fight, and Floyd Mayweather was 150. Okay, so he had a 20-pound weight advantage over Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather is used to taking punches from guys who are homegrown within the sport of boxing, who are big punchers, who are knockout artists within the sport. A la the punch he took from Sugar Shane Mosley, Hall of Famer. So, Floyd Mayweather, who's shown to have a sturdy chin, he knows how to take a punch. Okay, his body is punch resistant. Not saying that you got a guy that's that big stature and can't knock out Floyd Mayweather, because anybody could get knocked out with the perfect punch placement. But Logan Paul is a novice at the very least in the sport of boxing. Now, if you had a true cruiserweight in the prime of their career, maybe a Sergey Kovalev or Andre Ward or guys of that nature, true cruiserweights in the prime of their career, well then maybe you're talking about a different story. Even a cruiserweight in the twilight of their career, taking on Floyd Mayweather in an exhibition, maybe they have a puncher's chance because they know how to well place their punches. They know how to deal with adversity. Logan Paul does not. Logan Paul had 2 exhibition bouts with another YouTuber, and he wasn't very successful when he did that with another novice, let alone getting in the ring with arguably the greatest boxer the sport of boxing has ever seen, who's never lost, and be able to defeat him. Floyd Mayweather's 44. He's not 64. Floyd Mayweather's always in tip-top shape. Floyd Mayweather never, ever allows himself to get truly, truly out of shape. He may not be in full boxing shape, but he's in somewhat a respectable shape. It don't take him much to get back into full boxing shape because he never lets himself get too far from his boxing weight. So at 44 years old, we saw Bernard Hopkins still be one of the best fighters in the world at 44 years of age. We saw George Foreman come back in his 40s and win a world title in the heavyweight division with 0 defense. We've seen plenty of fighters fight in the 40s and still be very, very successful. Now, obviously, your reflexes are the first thing to go. And, well, Floyd Mayweather, when he was Pretty Boy Floyd, he had punching power. But now, he was never the biggest puncher, but he did have knockout power, and he was very aggressive when he was Pretty Boy Floyd. So your power is the last thing to go. Seeing as though he's not looking to knock out anybody, but Conor McGregor, who's a combat athlete, is used to taking punches and kicks in fights, knees, kicks, elbows, and punches. Well, guess what? As the fight wore on, Conor McGregor, who had a serious size advantage over Floyd Mayweather as well, not as much as Logan Paul. But Conor McGregor, he knew his discipline is slightly different from boxing, but he knew how to strike on his feet. He knew how to take punches. Well, guess what? When Floyd Mayweather decided to turn on the switch, that was all she wrote for Conor McGregor. And he is used to taking punches in big fights and defending himself. Logan Paul is not. So I believe that Teddy Atlas is reaching for the fact of excitement. What would it do for sports, especially for the sport of boxing, if Floyd Mayweather is to lose or get knocked out by Logan Paul? Imagine what that would do for the sport of boxing itself. The excitement, the buzz, it would be epic. It would go viral. That's an understatement. It would be on every news outlet. It would hit every newspaper, every country. It would be all over the place. You don't think Floyd Mayweather understands that? You don't think Floyd Mayweather, although it's not going to count against his record as a professional, wins or losses, you don't think his reputation, he understands that he has to uphold his reputation and how much of a hit it would take if he was to lose to a YouTuber, a non-professional boxer, after he defeated more world champions than anybody in the history of sport of boxing, and they couldn't pull it off? and Floyd Mayweather was bet against so many times, people wanted to see him lose. Imagine what it would do if Floyd Mayweather was to lose to Logan Paul. He understands that. He knows exactly what he's getting into. He knows exactly what he can do and what he can't do. And trust and believe, he will not let his guards down when it comes to that. He may carry Logan Paul, but he won't put himself up against the wall where he stands to his reputation to take a serious hit. So I think that Teddy Atlas is seriously reaching, and he's too educated in the sport of boxing, and he knows better. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. You already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
This is Amanda, the real deal Serrano, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.